Won their last 5 in the league last season, but just haven't been able to get any kind of consistency going this time around. Is today the day they get back to winning ways? There's Vic winning an early throw-in off Maritz. Pitch bearing a few scars from last night's FA Cup game for the men here, Lindsay. It's been raining pretty much ever since.
Yeah, for all the year we've heard, haven't we? It's all been in the news. So yeah, it'll be a nice slippy one. It'll be nice to play the ball across, zip the ball through. Both teams will want to do that. Move the ball quickly and try and create those openings in the final third.
Footballers quite like playing in wet, rainy conditions, right? With the notable exception of goalkeepers.
Yeah, I'd hate to be a goalkeeper in these conditions, but as a defender, it was always brilliant when you were able to commit and do a slide and tackle. Obviously win the ball, but you might take a little bit of grass with you as well.
You know, the referee might give you a bit more leniency than would otherwise be the case. There's Blackstad trying to hold it up over on the far side. 3 defeats in a row. They've actually lost 4 of their last 5. Sent long by Kopp. Here's Simonen, who signed a contract extension with Spurs this week. Another player who really loves playing against Aston Villa. 6 goal involvements in 10 games against them.
I think she's had a really good season, Simonen. Really just bosses that midfield for Tottenham.
Koga. Vic. Trying to feed it into the channel. A bit too much on that, though. Decent start from Spurs.
Yeah, I think so. They're really high energy, pressing high. I think Gaupspeth in that midfield, the new signing, the January signing, has done really well, picking the ball up and driving through the midfield.
Villa just trying to get a little bit of time in possession. Maritz.
So important for Aston Villa today to stop that rot. They've lost 4 of the last 5 games, but it's the number of goals they've been conceding, which is really concerning. 17 in the last 5 games.
That may be why they're looking a little bit tentative here. There's no great urgency to get the ball forward. Owen Parker's lost it, and England will surely score. What a save from Ellie Roebuck to keep the game at 0-0 for now at least, but maybe not for much longer. Aston Villa all over the place at the back and indebted to their goalkeeper from stopping them conceding inside 4 minutes. Now here's Hansen going at the other end. Hunt trying to hold her up. Managed to squeeze it through for Grant. And Hansen eventually spins the shot a long way wide.
It was a good transition, good break from Villa. We know they've got that in their back locker. We just see here Lucy Parker dwelling on the ball. No options in front of her. Hamano, really good pressure. Fantastic save from Roebuck. She had to make that. See here, Lucy Parker's looking for options. She's just got to miss. Just go long there. Really good save from Roebuck in the end.
Meanwhile, here's Hijikata. Now Miri Taylor. Jean-Francois. They're trying to establish a foothold in the game and take advantage of the fact that their goalkeeper has just kept them in the game. Maritz looking for Jean-Francois. Cross went Koga, and Jean-Francois would not be the first player to lose her footing today.
It's better from Aston Villa. They're able to move that ball quickly straight to Hansen. You can see that's their game plan, and why not? She's playing with lots of confidence with those 7 goals. The shot was wayward though, went out for a throw.
She can blame it on the conditions, maybe. Only 2 wins from 7. Just 2 wins from 7 so far at home for Aston Villa in the league, and they might have some more defending to do here with Blackstad. England making her way into the middle. A chance for an effort here from Holtz, which was smothered and behind for the first corner of the game.
Yeah, good defending. Here we can see nice play around the box. Just drops from Holt, and we know she can score from that distance. Villa have got a corner to defend here.
Hamano is the player who's going to take it. Hamano's going to work it in. And the header's going to drop harmlessly wide from Hunt, who'd come up from defence.
There's a deep corner. Hunt was able to get on to the end of it, but just wasn't able to direct it goalwards. But they have got those dangerous players from set pieces, the likes of Hunt and Koga. Villa lucky there, I think. A really good pressure from Tottenham Hotspur. Aggressive press in Villa's defensive third. Free kick given though.
Well, he's had a great start, hasn't he, Martin Ho, to his time at Tottenham manager. It's a decent time to come in, I think, given the struggles that they had last season.
I think he's done exceptionally well. There was no real identity to this Spurs side last season. Really struggled under the previous manager, Robert Wilhelm. Martin Ho's come in, brought energy, passion, knowledge. Really reignited this Spurs side. Sitting 5th at the moment, he'd be pretty happy with that if you asked him at the start of the season.
Sumanen's touch. Spurs looking to build quickly again. And they've got plenty forward in this attack. There's a really important challenge from Miri Taylor, just as it was about to be fed wide to Blackstad by Holt. Maritz, former Arsenal player, will be extra keen to do well today.
You can see Aston Villa just find it difficult to find an out at the moment.
Maritz trying to get Hansen involved to be that. Lovely little step away from Galpset there, covering the ground as well. Staniforth couldn't get it from her. Still Tottenham press. Here's Galpset again. Oh, brilliant. What a great goal from Tottenham Hotspur. Beautifully worked, started and finished by Senior Galpset, who turns in her first Tottenham Hotspur goal. And that's been coming really since kickoff. It's Spurs who strike first at Villa Park.
It's a really good goal from Galpset. You see here, she wins that ball back in midfield with that aggressive press. He plays the ball out to Holt on the left-hand side and picks it up. It's her first touch which sets her up. You can see here the drive and commitment to win that ball. She shows good strength. But here, it's this first touch sets her up in field. And just there, the powerful left-footed shot into the near post. Ellie Roebuck will be disappointed that she's been beaten at a near post, but it was a good shot with power from Gausbeth.
Great start for Tottenham, just reward for how quickly they've come out of the traps here. Roebuck able to save Villa from England's efforts moments before, but beaten by Gausbeth, who gets her first goal in the WSL, having come in from Brandt last month.
And like you say, Matt, we saw it earlier in the game. Gausbeth's been picking that ball up in midfield and driving through centrally onto that Villa back line.
Here's Koga. Simonen. Spurs having all of the ball here. Villa really struggling to get over halfway at the moment.
Agree, you can see them, Aston Villa in such a low block, trying to restrict those spaces for Spurs, but Spurs are moving the ball exceptionally well.
Bit too strong from Simonen trying to win possession back. Well, Natalia Arroyo with a problem to solve here. Took her a while to settle and start getting results when she initially took over, but as I say, the way that they finished last season just made you think that they might be doing what Tottenham are trying to do this season, but it just hasn't happened so far.
I agree, and I think, you know, with the players that they have, they're experienced players. They've got a lot of youth players who are involved in international teams.
Giving the ball away cheaply once more, and there might be an opportunity for Spurs to double their lead here, and Roebuck hasn't got that. Hamano got a toe to it. Still the danger not passed. Gausbeth looking for a second of the game, and really good defending from Miri Taylor to make sure she couldn't.
It's desperate defending from Aston Villa. They really don't look comfortable at the back. They look like a team playing with lacking in confidence.
West Ham with that thrilling comeback last week, finding themselves a goal down at Everton early on today. Here's Blackstad. Holt. Well, ordinarily, you'd think that Villa would be quite happy for Spurs defenders to be knocking it around in this kind of area of the pitch, but they've seen so little of the ball. I don't think it's a deliberate ploy. Well, Roebuck had done so well to stop Bethany England from scoring earlier. She couldn't do anything to prevent the goal, and her handling left a bit to be desired there as well.
Yeah, I agree. You want your keeper to come and claim that. It's a nice height for her, but spilt it. And it was Miri Taylor's last-ditch defending which was able to clear her lines for Aston Villa.
Roebuck coming off the bench for the second time in the WSL because of an injury to Sabrina D'Angelo last weekend. I mean, she'll feel she's good enough to be Villa's #1. England got a little nick on that, I think. It came through to Gausbeth. She just thought for a second about taking a shot, rolled it on to Bethany England instead, but Patton was close enough to be able to deal with that. Now Chastity Grant looking to get over halfway for Villa. Hansen will chase it down, but between them, Koga and Kopp able to deal with that, no problem.
It's good work from Chastity Grant, and we know how much speed and pace she has. She was able to roll Nilden on the left-hand side for Spurs, and then she had some space in between. We could just see there on the scene, the graphic. So much action in that Aston Villa half. 43% of the play in there.
They're looking to get into that final third again. Here's Hijikata. Villa want a bit more from her yet to register a goal or an assist in the WSL this season. nobody in an attacking sense for Villa able to make their mark in the opening 15 minutes of this game. We're right at the top of the Doug Ellis stand, Lindsay, but you can feel the jitters every time they get the ball at the back from where we are.
I agree, and I think, like we've already talked about, because they've conceded so many goals at the moment.
It's a great run from Hansen though, and the flag stayed down. And she's through here for 1-1. Kirsty Hansen, never in doubt, is it? When she gets in that position, she is ruthless. Second goal for her against Tottenham this season, and very much against the run of play. Aston Villa back level.
And we talked about this at the start of the game. In those transition moments, that's who you want the ball to fall to. Kirsty Hansen does really well, runs across Hunt. So Hunt's not able to put that challenge in. But here the finish, driven to that near post. I think Copper's thinking she's going to go far corner, takes her off guard, and it finishes into the near post. Fantastic finish from Hansen. And like you say, it came from nowhere, that. But that's the quality Kirsty Hansen brings, and that's why she's so important to this Villa side.
8 WSL goals for her this season. Probably thought she'd won it when she scored in the reverse in the 84th minute. And Tottenham scored 2 very late goals thereafter.
It's really intelligent play from Hansen to run across the centre half. Hunt, it makes it so difficult for her to put a challenge in. And then she has the green space to work with in front of her. Did ever so well to get that goal. Straight away, you can see Aston Villa dropped again into that low to mid block, but there's lots of space on this right-hand side.
Oh, and Spurs almost able to hit back immediately.
Yeah, Vic found herself in extra space on the right-hand side for Tottenham Hotspur.
Will be a Tottenham throw. Here's Hermano. Scored against Villa for Chelsea last season. Actually scored a couple of goals against Spurs in her Chelsea career as well. At Tottenham for the remainder of the campaign. Hunt across for Nilden. Koga. England trying to get after her own flick there. Well, as pleased as Natalia Arroyo will be about that, Martin Ho will be pretty cross, won't he? It's effectively the first chance of any note that Villa have had they've scored with.
I agree, he's not going to be happy. Say Kirsty Hansen, she's difficult to deal with as a centre-half, particularly when she gets the run on you like she did with Hunt. But it'll be positive his team can get back to this game.
Looking pensive, I would suggest there. Definitely put a bit of pep in Villa's step, that goal. They're looking a bit more confident in possession now. Staniforth wrestling with it. Of course, as soon as I say that, they turn it over. And Spurs will look to break. 4 forward in this attack. Holt working it through for England. Trying to cut inside Patton. It's Bethany England deflected and in. What a start here. We've not played for 20 minutes yet and we've got 3 goals already. They all came late in the reverse meeting. They're coming early at Villa Park. And Bethany England, who simply loves playing against Aston Villa, gets her 6th goal against them and makes it Villa 1, Spurs 2.
Really good work from Olivia Holt. Picks that ball up in her own half and drives through that centre of midfield. Plays a lovely pass out to Beth England, but it's her first touch which allows her to then come back inside. We can see it here. That first touch drives her forward. She cuts back inside. An unfortunate deflection. Takes it in over Ellie Roebuck. But it's that break from Olivia Holt in that central midfield which is the catalyst for that second goal for Spurs.
I mean, my takeaway from the first 20 minutes here is shoot whenever you can. Just England's 5th goal of the season in the WSL, but she is pretty much guaranteed a goal whenever she plays against Aston Villa. And what was that? 3 minutes, a little more than, that we had parity here. Now Holt. Roebuck didn't know whether to stay or go, and Holt's going to try and chip her. Very, very difficult. Yeah, she couldn't keep it on target.
Yeah, it's a tight angle for Holt, but she was able to have the awareness to see Roebuck is off a line. It was on, but it was a difficult opportunity. Here you can see Blackstad just slips it in down the side for Olivia Holt. She has a quick look over her shoulder. Just a difficult execution. But I think that's what Martin Ho's brought to this Spurs side this season. That really attacking mindset to go forward first, take risks, something that they didn't do last season.
Well, needs must. And as we saw when we looked at the table, their goal difference is vastly inferior to the teams that they're chasing. Any win is a good win, of course, but if they could rack up a few goals here today, that would be even more priceless for them. Here's Hamano. Hijikata. Maritz will look to cross halfway here. Jean-Francois well forward wants it. Came into Grant instead, or Taylor instead rather. And Parker gave it her back. Here's Patton. Becomes Villa's leading appearance maker in the WSL today, Anna Patton. Jean-Francois has got a bit of space here. Hijikata left. Option right-hand side too is Hansen. Forced a little wide, but she's got time to measure across here. Looking for Hijikata. Kopp wasn't sure what was behind her. It's come for Maritz. Nice bit of skill to buy some room for a cross. Cleared away though, albeit only as far as Parker. What a goal that would have been in front of the whole 10 from the centre half.
Better from Aston Villa, we can see it here. Just that deep ball to the back post. Excellent from Kopp, but Maritz just dinks it back into the area. Disappointing there's not a Villa player on that penalty spot where the ball was driven back in. Lucy Parker tries that effort, but, you know, always going wide. But better from Villa. It's end to end at the moment, Matt.
Brilliant start for us. Midway point of the first half. We've had 3 goals already. Could have been more. Filthy old day in Birmingham. The rain has just eased slightly, but it hasn't stopped falling. Oh, pretty much since Christmas Day. And Roebuck's come a long way from home again here, and she was confident with her footwork to find Parker. This is Taylor. Oh, look at that. Spurs have had 7 efforts at goal already. Here's Chastity Grant trying to get round Nilden. Managed to do that as well. How's the cross? Well, met on the volley beautifully by Taylor. Blocked and cleared out to Maritz. Bit of pressure here from Villa. All of a sudden looks like they've got something about them going forward.
I've liked it when Chastity Grant's on the ball. She looks dangerous on that right-hand side. They just need to play it out to her a little bit more, get her on the ball.
Parker. Everybody bar Roebuck inside Tottenham's half of the field at the moment. Grant. Always busy, bit of trickery, bit of pace about her to the Dutch international. Jean-Francois quickly closed down by Hunt. Hansen trying to get on the end of that, but Koga's able to guide it behind for a goal kick. This was a decent effort, wasn't it, from Miri Taylor?
Yeah, we just see here Chastity Grant again getting the better of Nilden. Nice ball into the box. Catches it well, Miri Taylor, doesn't she, on the volley? Possibly just missing that far post, but Koga doesn't know that. gets that interception.
Going for 2 in 2, Marie Taylor, having scored at St Helens against Liverpool last week. Here's England, who's already been on target in this match. That's a decent cross as well. Cleared out as far as Holt. Tottenham carry such menace when they come forward. Crosses into a good area as well, and England got a really nice connection on it, but Roebuck diving away down low, able to gobble that one up and make it stick.
Good build-up play here from Tottenham, but you can see here there's 4 defenders in the box, just Beth England. The ball finds her and she's able to get a shot off. Got to do better, Aston Villa, in their defensive third.
And they're giving it away again. Here's Vic. Her delivery wasn't bad either. It came for Holt. Shot blocked on the edge of the 6-yard box, but Spurs again quick to win it back, and that's going to go in too. And it's 3-1. And it's Holt again, the match winner when these two met earlier in the campaign, is on target once more to give Spurs a 2-goal buffer. It's the 4th goal of the game before the half-hour mark. It's another one that Roebuck will feel she could have done better with. But it's Villa 1, Spurs 3.
Yeah, we can see here just Aston Villa just not dealing with the... They're not getting their clearances away, and all the second balls, Tottenham players are all over it. Olivia Holt, that's way too easy for her. See, the ball's put into the box, not dealt with there from Patton, and again from Wilms. Olivia Holt does well, but she's got loads of time to pick a spot. But like you say, Roebuck's not going to be happy. That's gone in the back of the net. Needs to make herself bigger. Stop that going in, but it's poor defending, which has led to that. Olivia Holt, 3rd goal for Tottenham Hotspur.
It's the 5th for the season in the league for Holt. And Natalia Arroyo, having thought that her team had got back into this game with Hansen's equaliser, well, it's been taken away from them in the 10 minutes since they got back to 1-1. Spurs have scored twice more. You mentioned, Lindsay, how leaky this Villa defence has been of late. No sign of that clearing up on this damp day. Got to get the next goal in the game now, haven't they, Villa?
I agree, and I think, you know, it's really important that not only do they need to get this next goal, but they need to just shut up shop now, get to half-time, which is a fair time off still, without conceding another goal. It'd be hard to see them come back from a 4th.
Well, at the rate we're going, we'll get at least another 3 in the next 15 minutes. Oh, and Roebuck's got to be really careful here. She's had such a difficult start to the game, and Holt, full of confidence, almost picked her pocket. Here's Summonen. Villa's so shaky in defence today.
I think that just is demonstrated there, because Roebuck is renowned for being a ball-playing goalkeeper, and she's struggled today with the ball at her feet. That high aggressive press from Tottenham really causing problems.
Well, the game's being played in Villa's half of the field at the moment, and Spurs smell blood. Count set. Carried on her run. Patton went safety first, which, given the way Villa have defended so far, is not a bad decision.
Just seen here, Roebuck dwelling on the ball, too many touches. Excellent press from Olivia Holt, and that's what Martin Ho brings. That's what we've seen a difference in this side this season. That high aggressive press, energy, and he's just give them the time to express themselves going forward, and they definitely do that, this Spurs side.
Amano was up to win the header, probably the shortest player on the pitch. It's a heavy touch from Vic now, and Hansen can maybe take advantage of that. We've seen the damage she can do from this kind of position once already. No real angles, good defending from Koga to force her wide.
Good break from Kirsty Hansen. And she's able to pick up a loose ball, and it's all herself, isn't it? She's going toe-to-toe with Koga. Koga does well just to stay in touch with her, and no one in the box. It was kind of a cross comes short, neither here nor there. But still, reminding Tottenham that she's that danger, she's that threat for them.
Got a hold up here because Summonen needs some treatment. It's going to give time for a pre-half-time team talk for both coaches. Villas need more great, you would think, than Martin Owen Tottenham's. Noticeable, actually, when the third Spurs goal went in, the Villa players all gathered in a circle, didn't they, inside the penalty area to try and work out what's going wrong. Changes in defence that she's made today. An enforced one in goal. And well, look, there's the consequence of it. 10 shots on their goal already, 5 of them on target. I just wonder with Roebuck, maybe if it's kind of a consequence of the fact that she hasn't played much this season, the mistakes that she's made, because we know what a quality goalkeeper she has been throughout her career.
Of course, and I think it's always difficult for a goalkeeper. They get less and fewer chances than anybody else on the pitch, and you've got to take those chances when they come up. But we know she's a quality goalkeeper, but she has struggled today. She'll be disappointed with a couple of the goals and distribution from her feet. But Aston Villa have got some real experienced players on that pitch, the likes of Louise Stanisforth. You know, they've got Anna Patton, Lucy Parker, Kirsty Hansen, and it's up to them. They've got to take this game by the scruff of the neck and try and turn this around.
Both teams with pretty significant injury absentees at the moment. Talking of experience, you think about the calm that Rachel Daly might bring to this Tottenham team. Manchester United back level at home to London City Lionesses. Spurs will be pretty pleased if that stays as is. Tough to use injuries as an excuse for Villa, though, isn't it? When you look at the list of Tottenham absentees as well, the likes of Jess Naz and Charlie Grant, who's apparently close to a return, and Bueller and Spence not available through suspension today as well.
Of course, and I think you can look at all the teams in the WSL and with the amount of games that a lot of these teams are playing now, that they have got the injuries on the bench, but it's the squad that's the most important thing, and what you can do with the players you can put out onto the field.
Here's Parker. Staniforth out for Maritz. Everything in front of Parker, bar the square ball to Patton. She's chipped it into the right channel. But there's no way that Wilms could catch up to that.
Really struggling to find those passing lanes and angles, Aston Villa, partly due to the good organisation when Tottenham are out of possession. They're very organised at getting back into their units, making it difficult for Villa to play through.
Villa have created not enough big chances this season as defined by Opta. They are second worst in the table as far as that goes, just under 29%. Their chances have been big chances. They've only had one in this game, which they did convert, but their main problems have been at the other end of the pitch. Long way to go, though. If they get the next goal in the game, they'll feel there might be something here for them. Now we're going to see the first card of the day here. Lucy Staniforth on Bethany England.
I don't mind that high up the pitch. You've got to, at times she was turned. Beth England had done really well to turn Lucy Staniforth. She used her experience there, brought her down.
Oh, how cool was that from Lisa Kopp into Summonen. Maritz. Big last 10 minutes of the first half here. Goals raining down at Villa Park so far. Roebuck into Jean-Francois, had to try and make that stick. Gaupset got it from her. Oh, and she almost managed to get another opportunity there, Gaupset. It was an important intervention by Wilms.
And again, that comes from Aston Villa's possession. They're trying to play the ball around their back line, but no movement in front of them. So Tottenham are able to just press and gain those inches higher up the field and win it higher. Turn the ball over.
Ball through the middle for Hansen to chase once more. Kopp had to get that right. So at that end of the ground that Marco Bizot made a fairly ridiculous decision last night, but Kopp kept her head. Here's Gaupset. Actually, real contrast between the two goalkeepers so far, hasn't there? Kopp's not had loads to do, but whenever she's had to get the ball or make a decision, you can tell that she's instilling a bit of calm and authority into those in front of her.
I agree. I think she's done really well this season, Kopp.
Now, here's Blackstad at the other end. Heavy touch just took the opportunity to break away from her. Summerham won it back, though. Spurs seemingly first to every loose ball. Blackstad again. Taylor was holding on to her. She went on anyway. Chance for another for Spurs, maybe England. Off the post, and somehow they don't get a fourth goal. It looked as though Nildon was going to. It seemed certain that England would. Villa have got away with it, but they're only just in this game.
Again, we can see here Blackstad uses her strength there, and it's a lovely, just a reverse ball into Holt, who just ghosts in on that left-hand side. You can see here she uses her strength well, Blackstad. Good touch from Holt, but fantastic save from Roebuck that time. And then the post saves them, doesn't it? Just stops that fourth goal from going in.
Amano on corner duty. Villa conceded direct from a corner here against United a few weeks ago. Roebuck just about got onto that. Hijikata with a loose touch, though. Here's England. Gaupset trying to retrieve and managed to do that. Just sharper and quicker to every ball at the moment, aren't they?
It's like they've got an extra player, and it's Olivia Holt who's the one who they're just not picking up. She's doing those late runs into the box, and Aston Villa just not picking her up. She seems to have a lot of time and space in that Aston Villa box.
Forward by Hunt was a good ball as well. Holt pointing where she wants it to go. Amano making a run left-hand side. This is she. Span it with the outside of her boot. Grant under pressure here from Blackstad. Everybody appeals. Referee gives it Villa's way.
Blackstad's definitely coming into this game. We can see her picking that ball up on the left-hand side. And it's just too easy. Again, you could see what Blackstad wanted to do, and she was waiting for the overlap and run of Hamano. Aston Villa just not able to get tight enough for these Spurs players at the moment.
Hamano's touch first time was nice. This was the strike from Holt that was blocked, and then Hamano's spins away and behind for a goal kick. Problem here for Staniforth, meanwhile.
Just looking again at this most recent phase of plays, and again, it's Olivia Holt involved in it. She's going good at driving infield off that left-hand side, put it onto her right foot. We've certainly seen Hamano coming into it the last 5 or 6 minutes as well, linking up really well with Blackstad and Olivia Holt. Martin Holt will be really pleased with that relationship, which is developing from the three forwards.
Well, they're running the game, aren't they? Summerham getting some instruction while Staniforth gets some treatment. Spurs looking for their first win away to Villa in the league since 2023. That was at Walsall. Now, if we were able to eavesdrop on that conversation, I think those girls would be saying to each other, there's more goals for us here today.
I think you're right, Matt. I think you are. And just looking at it as well, you can see some real experienced players, but also the January signings that Martin Ho has brought in. Gaupset also there with them. I think you got Blackstad as well, came in recently. That sort of Scandinavian, Nordic sort of group that he's got from his old side. BK Hacken brought them in. They're really starting to make their sort of mark in the WSL.
Yeah, he was previously on the coaching staff at Everton and Manchester United before he went to Scandinavia, Martin Ho. So lots of experience. It's his biggest gig in English football today by some distance, and it's going pretty well so far. Big thump up field from Roebuck, met by a Tottenham head, specifically England. Probably get a couple of minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half here, but not too far away from the break. Villa briefly level after Spurs took an early lead through Gaupset, and goals from England and Holt have taken it away from the home side. Great hold-up play from Hansen. Hijikata, that's a loose one though. Made no impact on the game whatsoever thus far, Hijikata. Koga. Every time a Tottenham player gets the ball, they're all confident in taking multiple touches. They feel a level above their opponents so far in this game. Oh, and if Holt had been able to turn away there, they could have been in. Instead, they're on the defensive. Jean-Francois finding the dangerous Hansen, twisting and turning, trying to get away from Koga, who committed. Hansen's still in there. It's all very scrappy. Villa say that was a back pass. Referee Dow says no.
Really good defending. You can see an uncharacteristic bad touch from Holt, but Chastity Grand straight away on the front foot in that transition. See Koga trying to stay on her feet, but gets put down. But it's the urgency and the double up play by Spurs. They're desperate not to concede another goal. Summonen and Hunt both trying to prevent that shot on goal from Hansen.
Here's Hijikata. Maritz. See somebody else from Villa show that they've got the capacity to score in this game. At the moment, it feels a bit like it's Hansen or nobody. Patton. Bounced off Grant. Gaupset. Okay, it's so easy for Spurs to just march their way through Aston Villa. And for Gaupset to hang on to it under a bit of pressure, but never looked like she was going to lose the ball.
Just looks so easy for Gaupset. They're driving through midfield, 3 players around her, still able to recycle the ball for Spurs.
Lovely take from Hamano, little tug of the shirt from Miri Taylor. Referee either didn't spot it or didn't mind it. Chelsea in front against Liverpool. Liverpool who beat Aston Villa last weekend. Chelsea who beat Tottenham. England. Difficult one for her to get under control and ended up on the deck. Here's Hijikata. Koga's been quick to get tight to Hansen wherever she can. Got a little too tight there for the referee's taste.
It's developing into a good battle between Hansen and Koga. For such a young centre-back, Koga does really well. She's composed, good on the ball, but is happy to do that hard work and those 1v1 battles as well.
Yeah, only 20. Toka Koga already a full international for Japan. Patton smacking it upfield. Milden taking no chances. Gonna have 6 additional minutes at the end of the first half here.
Be a minimum of 6 minutes added time. A minimum of 6 minutes.
Staniforth trying to bring Grant into proceedings. Wilms is outside of her. Up against Nilden, hit the cross first time, would have to have been pitch perfect. And in the end, it ended up in the hole 10.
And sometimes that's what's happened when you're chasing the game. Those very few chances you have going forward, a bit rash and you might snatch at them. I mean, you can't afford to do that. Aston Villa need to be on point with their crosses and execution into the box.
Feels like Spurs have had more of the ball than just 57%. It's about what you do with it when you've got it, though. And they have been efficient with their opportunities. Just a one shot on target for Villa. It did result in a goal. Am I being harsh to say it feels like if it's not going to be Hansen, it's not going to be anybody, though, for Villa?
I think on what we've seen so far, it's a fair analysis, and she still looks a threat, doesn't she? Like we've said, there's a good battle, and particularly with her and Koga, but definitely the most dangerous Villa player so far.
Nicely done from Hermano. Got it back from Vic. Hermano infield for Bethany England. Good build-up play again from Spurs this. Nilden on the overlap if Holt wants. Instead she came infield to England. Good leave for Micah Hermano to drive one. And flies over the crossbar. Not an easy chance, but an opportunity to test Roebuck.
A good play from Tottenham Hotspur, and Blackstad there. Just that really incisive pass through the Villa players. England has the intelligence to let it go for Hermano. Blazes it over the bar there, but always looking for progressive forward passes. Spurs run them on the ball. Deliberate move forward. Look really impressive going forward at Tottenham Hotspur.
Maritz. Been more than 20 minutes since we've had a goal. Oh, we might get one now. Here's England. Thought about a shot from distance. Teed it up for Hermano instead. Roebuck saves with her feet again. Still the danger's not past. Oh, that's a good challenge to take it away from Bethany England, and Hermano looks to the heavens and wonders how she hasn't scored. 2 good chances in the space of a minute or so for her.
Good save from Roebuck, but then again sloppy from Villa. England holds the ball up, plays a nicely weighted ball to Hermano, but fantastic save from Roebuck. But again, it's not cleanly won for Aston Villa, and in the end, it's Wilms who has to clear her lines.
Card coming out for Nilden meanwhile. Challenge over on the far side. First Tottenham player to be booked today. And this is White.
Yeah, she's got hands around her, hasn't she? Brings her down. Knows what she's doing, Nilden.
Free kick thumped in. Oh, and Kopp was desperately hoping she got her angles right there, and she had.
Bit disappointing again from Aston Villa. Wilms with a really deep, powerful set piece, but Kopp was able to come and claim confidently.
England on the charge here. That's going to spin perfectly into her path. Time for one final chance before the whistle blows for Tottenham, maybe. Galp set. Here's Hunt. Everybody in a Villa shirt back behind the ball. Nice from Gaupset. Oh, flag is up, left-hand side.
I think at times as well, Aston Villa are guilty of playing really narrow in that back four. Sometimes Wilms, when she drops into that traditional right back, and Moritz into that traditional left back, they're then quite narrow, which allows Tottenham that space to be nice and wide and get on the ball. The likes of Holt and Blackstad really on that left-hand side are having lots of success and joy.
Boosted over halfway by Roebuck. Hunt and Jean-Francois challenging. Vic able to work it back to Kopp. Jean-Francois trying to keep her honest. Well, there is the half-time whistle, and Natalia Arroyo is going to have to provide some words of motivation for her team over the next 15 minutes, because they're right up against it here. Tottenham looking brilliant in attack. Villa dodgy at the back. Spurs ahead on 10 minutes through Gaupset. Villa quickly equalised through Hansen, but then England and Holt taking the game away with Seam from the hosts. All the goals in the opening 26 minutes here at half-time at Villa Park. It's Aston Villa 1, Tottenham Hotspur 3.
Should be able to work down those flanks. So I think Natalie Aurier will be hoping that that's what Rach Maltby's going to bring.
It'll be interesting to see where Maltby plays. Only 18 years of age. See if there's any noticeable change in formation for Villa once the game settles down. So 3 quick-fire goals for Tottenham have got them well placed here. Here's Simonen. Gaupset, who got the party started for the visitors.
And it looks like Maltby's just slotted in that wide left midfield, just in front of Moritz.
Here's Jean-Francois. Chance for a shot maybe, teed it up instead for Chastity Grant, right the way across the face of goal. And any kind of touch there at the far post, and it would have been the most immediate of impacts from Maltby.
Excellent from Aston Villa. Jean-Francois picks it up in midfield, exactly what Tottenham have been doing to them. Drives and slips that ball in on the right-hand side. A wicked cross from Chastity Grant. Probably just too much on it for Maltby on that left-hand side. What a first touch that would have been for her.
Here's Hamano. And now a chance for Spurs to get across halfway. Holt with her arm up in the air once it played her way. Simonen instead. Here's Nilden. Now Holt can get involved. Blackstad to her left. Holt wants to go alone. Just nudged off it there by Patton. Firm but fair. Referee Dow couldn't have been much closer to that.
Yeah, I think, like you say, firm but fair. Olivia Holt just went a bit too easy for me. But again, she picks that ball up and she's looking to go in behind Wilms and Patton. Not to be.
Jean-Francois lost all 4 games she's played since joining from Chelsea for big money in the winter window, the French midfielder. Grant initially good hold-up play, but then couldn't direct the pass into Wilms' path.
Better energy from Villa in these opening couple of minutes. Looking to move that ball forward, but it's the movement which was lacking in that first half. I'm sure that's what Natalie Aurora has said to her players. There's got to be better dynamic runs in front.
Jean-Francois trying to turn it around the corner to Grant, but too close to Nilden. Spurs coming into this game having lost 2 of their last 3 in the league. very, very late at Liverpool and then beaten by a goal either side of half-time by Chelsea last weekend. It's in from England. Galpset trying to get a toe to that. Mary Taylor beat her to it. Here's Grant. Chikata just unable to hold it up effectively, and Holt's got it back. Maybe room for a shot from outside the box here from Holt. Well worth testing Roebuck, given her struggles today, but that was gobbled up comfortably by the Villa stopper.
Again, we can see Olivia Holt in acres of space, and they're backing off. Lucy Parker's backing off. You need to go and engage with her. Straightforward for Roebuck in the end.
Here's Patton now. A little bit aimless, that.
You can see when Aston Villa have got possession of the ball, they go to that back three, pushing the likes of Vilms, Moritz on, but still finding it difficult to find the players in front.
Galpset with a little nick through the legs of the Villa defender, and she's carried on her run here. Patton will be able to tidy up.
It's good pressure again from Spurs. Galpset, I think she's having a really good game, really sets the tone for this Tottenham side in that midfield area.
He's obviously had a big say in the recruitment, hasn't he, Martin Ho? I'm sure he doesn't get the final call on everything, but if whoever makes the decisions has said, have you got any recommendations for where we should look in the winter window, they've definitely taken his advice.
Yeah, and why not as well? With his previous side, BK Hacken, they did exceptionally well in Champions League, got to the quarterfinals. And he's handpicked some of the best players from that team and brought them over to Spurs.
Here's Grant. Films. Grant had carried on her run. She's always a bundle of energy. 3 to aim across at here. Cut it back into a good area. Came off 125 via the other. Summoning on to Taylor and behind for a goal kick.
Good work on this right-hand side. She's a handful, Chastity Grant, when she gets the ball out of her feet. Good link-up play with her and Vilms. Just gets this ball into the box, into the right area. Samanen does well, has to get something on it. Miri Taylor was coming in late into the box.
A problem here for Ellie Roebuck, which is requiring the attention of some of Villa's medical staff. I'm no expert, but I would say that might be something to do with a contact lens. She'd have a shiner here the other week, didn't she, against Manchester United when she started ahead of D'Angelo. Bit better from her side, first 7 minutes of the second half. That one chance to cut the gap to 1.
Yeah, I agree. I think they've shown a lot more energy, looking for those progressive passes forward, but the movement has been a little bit better in front. Hijikata trying to get on the ball, still not keeping it. She'd like to link up with her players around her a little bit better. The likes of Jean-Francois, Miri Taylor. They're trying to play higher up the pitch into Spurs' defensive third.
Chikata was trying to get the ball back from Kopp there. Here's Miri Taylor. Big thump from Roebuck. Grant in behind, ball bounced over Hunt's head, and Nilden helped her out by tidying up.
And I don't mind that, mixing it up a little bit. We don't see it enough in any of the games, do we, where just miss the press out, go long, look for that ball over the top, and you can see Hunt's pedalling back. Nilden has to come and help her out.
Now Hamano, a little bit of fortune about how the ball got to her. Got England, Blackstad and Holt up here. Pass lacked the accuracy to get Holt in on goal, but it's broken for Blackstad. Plenty of options to try and pick out. One of them's England, who swept her shot, trying to find the roof of Roebuck's net. Found the top tier of the Holt end instead.
What a ball from Blackstad. Here she picks it up and whips it in. A wicked whip into that area. In the end, I think it's really good defending from Lucy Parker on England. Prevents her from getting a clean shot on goal.
Tottenham 3 goals from 3 different goal scorers, and they look like they've got threats all over the pitch, and it's been one of the key differences between the sides so far. Here's Patton. Hansen. Half-hearted attempt from Hamano to win it back. Too much on that from Hansen to find Hijikata.
And sometimes, you know, with a player like Hansen, she's scored 8 goals now. She's by far their top goal scorer, but there's a lot of pressure that comes with that as well. And every time she has the ball, she probably feels she has to do something with it. Whereas I think sometimes, being an ex-centre-half myself, I think forwards have the time and the sort of liberty to be a bit more creative. And if they lose the ball, that's okay sometimes.
Just a danger that that momentum they had at the start of the half is ebbing away a little bit for Aston Villa here.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit of a battle, and Spurs will like this one. They're just breaking up play, stopping Villa to have that momentum. But as we said in that first half, the next goal is so important and crucial for Villa that they get it to stay in contention in this game.
Summerlin trying to roll away from Jean-Francois, did well. Here's Holt. This is where Spurs look really dangerous. Holt with England to her left. Came further to that side to find Blackstad. Really important intervention from Lynn Vilms. Very, very cool that. Jean-Francois had to work hard to get it back to Patton though. Touch from Hijikata. Here's Hansen, holds it up well. Took a bit of Koga with her, but referee saw nothing wrong with it. This is Taylor. Parker's challenge on England. Rain starting to get a little heavier again.
I think Aston Villa will be much happier with their 50-50s. I think they're coming out with the ball a lot more. They look a little bit more invested in those 50-50s.
They've got it back here with Grant. Might have to do it herself here. Jean-Francois to her right. A couple of options in the middle now. Here's Vilms. Oh, had a great opportunity to pick somebody out there, but she'll have to settle for a corner.
Yeah, she knew it as well, didn't she? The hands went straight to her head. Fantastic opportunity, nice play, and link-up play from Jean-Francois and Vilms on this right-hand side. Is this their first corner for Aston Villa?
Yeah. Nearly an hour gone. What can Vilms do with it? bent out of play. Flags up on this near side.
It's disappointing. They'll be disappointed because they are ranked second in the league for the most goals scored from set pieces, not just corners, but set pieces. They do add threat, and they are a danger in those areas.
Fine margins, isn't it? Because that near post corner is really popular at all levels of the game at the moment, and it's only a couple of inches between it being a brilliant delivery that creates a goal and you're looking daft when you hit the side netting with it or it bends out of play. Here's Patton. Jean-Francois. Grant again looking lively for Villa. Koga sent it straight back to her. Blackstad nipped in and got a toe to the ball, and now Spurs look to break again with Galbset. Galbset's gone for it from downtown, a long way away. She did have Blackstad, who's giving her daggers now, saying, why didn't you just play me in instead?
Yeah, you can see why she's done it. Roebuck is off a line, but they've outnumbered this Villa defence. They've got 4 versus 3 going forward, so probably the wrong decision and definitely the wrong execution.
Holt, not enough on that to find England. Second half's not had the quality that the first did so far. An hour gone, Tottenham's lead still a comfortable one. Films just about kept that in. Painful thud against Holt. Bounce kindly for Vilms. Kopp came for that. Wasn't required in the end. Clearance only as far as Grant. Huffing and puffing, aren't they, Aston Villa? It's whether they've got the quality to turn that into a goal.
Yeah, and I think the movement is getting better for Aston Villa, but it's just those final balls and the execution. Carter really struggling to find her way in this game.
Mentioned it in the first half, but this is her 8th appearance in the WSL. Carter, no goals, no assists so far. She's playing in that position where that's what she's in the team for.
Of course, and I think, she's got to be that player who's linking between the midfield and the forwards, and she's finding it a really tough ask out there against a very strong Tottenham midfield.
Here's Taylor. Films thundered across in, really good delivery that as well. Any kind of touch, and Kopp would have been in trouble. Maltby looking to make the connection. Jean-Francois, Villa support trying to get behind their team, sensing this is a good moment for them. Header from Koga was deftly guided into the path of Holt, who can get it away.
They're just knocking on the door, Aston Villa. It was a brilliant, fantastic, whipped in cross from Vilms. Just drops on the edge of the 6-yard box. Like you say, Maltby just couldn't quite connect.
Tottenham changes coming before too long. Here's Grant. Vilms. Knocking on the door, Aston Villa, but so far, Tottenham keeping it shut.
I think it's so important that they make this period of high pressure count. Aston Villa putting so much energy into it.
course, as they get more desperate in search of a way back into this game, that might mean that there are opportunities for Spurs on the counter.
And because of the 2-goal cushion, Spurs are just happy to drop all 11 players behind the ball, trying to make it as difficult as possible for Aston Villa to find that decisive ball and create that goal-scoring opportunity.
Simonen. Again, Tottenham, though, calm in possession. They're unable to force any errors from them, really, so far. Certainly not to the extent that Spurs did of Villa in the first half. Nilden's managed to keep that in play. Got it back from Blackstad too. Chelsea have doubled their lead against Liverpool. It's going to be so tight, isn't it, in the race for Champions League qualification.
Yeah, I think with, you know, possibly we could say that the league's gone and City are looking really pretty at the top, but you've got those Champions League places to fight for, and also the relegation baton at the foot of the table makes the WSL very exciting.
Very few teams with nothing to play for. I mean, Villa might be one of those, actually. Villa and Brighton, perhaps, but most everybody else has got a target to achieve between now and the end of the campaign. Lovely little spin from Grant. Galpset did well, but Grant managed to offload it to Hansen. Good break this from Villa. Loads of space left-hand side. Hansen's only got eyes for goal, and you can understand why. Couldn't keep the effort on target on that occasion, though.
Really good turn, initially by Chastity Grant, and then by Kirsty Hansen. See her leave Koga, don't we? I was thinking, is she going to play it to her left? Maritz is marauding in. She goes for that cross across goal. Would have had to been some shot to beat Kopp, who's played really well today so far.
Double change coming up for Tottenham here.
Place number 6, Amanda Nilden.
Amanda Nilden, who is on the yellow card, is giving way. Matilda Vinberg will come on and take her place, and Katinka Tamberg is going to come on for one of Tottenham's goal scorers, Olivia Holt. Tamberg, another Scandinavian import. Norwegian who came in from Hammarby in the summer. Vinberg pretty much a like-for-like swap there. There's Blackstad. Vinberg gets her first touch. England still full of energy as we approach the three-quarter mark in this match. Here's Galpset, who's been impressive all day. Great challenge, Miri Taylor. Just as Galpset was thinking about taking the shot. Simonen.
When Tottenham break, the numbers that they get forward, you can see you've got Beth England. Now Vinberg's on the pitch, she likes to get forward. Tamberg's in that high position as well. Gausbeth, for me, is the real catalyst in those transition moments for Spurs.
That was risky from Kopp, and Jean-Francois got it back. She's going to try and score from range here. Took it a bit closer to goal, deflected it in. And they're backing it now, all right, Aston Villa. Orion Jean-Francois with her first for the club. And they're within a goal. Resisted the opportunity to take the shot on from range. Benefited from a big deflection. It's Aston Villa 2, Tottenham 3.
It was a carbon copy of Beth England's goal, in the same goal in their first half. but really good pressure from Jean-Francois.
The goal scorer from
But
Aston
Ashley
Villa, number
now
6,
to be able to, and the footwork to keep the ball, goes it alone when there was a runner on her outside shoulder. I was thinking maybe she should have played it out to her left-hand side for Hijikata, but goes herself, and it's that deflection. Has to take the deflection to go in, because I don't think it was going to go into the back of the net. But they'll take it, Aston Villa, and they're back in this game.
Risky ball from Kopp to Summonen. She couldn't get hold of it. Spurs want to strike back straight away, though. It's Wimberg just onto the pitch. Little bit hesitant. Oh, and then Spurs smacking in for their 4th of the game. Katinka Tamberg off the bench and onto the score sheet. And Villa's hope is immediately extinguished. Just like in the first half, they think they've got themselves back in it. And Tottenham say not today.
The goal scorer for Tottenham Hotspur,
Wow.
19, Katinka Tamberg.
That old cliche that you're extremely vulnerable just after you've scored. It's been demonstrated here with a really quick break from Spurs, and Wimberg gets a shot off, but it's a great finish, isn't it, from Tamberg. We've seen her score from distance in the league previously. You can see how they're just driving forward. They don't get rid of the lines. They back off Wimberg again, Villa. But Tamberg strikes it, smacks it into that far corner to make it 4-2.
Talk about an instant impact, and what a sickener that is for Villa. Just when they thought they were back in it, they're going to bring on Ebony Salmon. But she thought she was going to come into this game with a chance of getting her team something from it.
And we were saying in the first half, towards the end of the half, that the next goal is so crucial. Villa go and get that next goal, and you think game on, and no more than a minute later, they concede the 4th.
Here's Hunt. Relief for Kopp and Summonen, who are somewhat culpable for that Jean-Francois goal. It's going to be a double change from Aston Villa now. Chastity Grant going off. They're brighter players, but pretty much a like-for-like swap with Ebony Salmon coming on to take her place. And Lucia Kendall is the other player who's coming on.
Double substitution.
Miri Taylor, who's giving way.
Chastity Grant and 25, Miri Taylor. Will you please welcome
Kendall on for her first appearance in just over a month.
21, Lucia Kendall.
And you're right, they're both like-for-like subs. Emily Salmon for Chastity Grant, but I think Chastity Grant has looked dangerous in this second half. And for me, Miri Taylor has been one of the better players for Aston Villa. But Lucia Kendall is a up-and-coming youth player, fantastic player.
Here's Salmon's first involvement. Wimberg able to get on the end of that. Flick with the outside of the boot by Galpset. No flag here against Micah Hamano. Surely this would seal it. Roebuck committed. Hamano is 5 for Spurs. And Micah Hamano with her first for the club. And surely that is that ecstasy for the away supporters and for Martin Ho, but boos around the rest of Villa Park. The home side getting a hammering here. Tottenham have looked brilliant in attack today, and Hamano adds her name to the ever-increasing list of Spurs scorers.
And I think the boos, I think it's from the crowd. They think it's offside from Hamano. Really tight line. What a ball from Tamberg, outside of the foot. Plays Hamano in. But the composure from Hamano here. Knows that the players, Maritza running in behind. She takes it out wide and then just slots it to that far post. Nestles here. We're just seeing here if we can see it's offside. She's in her own half as the ball's played. So in my opinion, she's onside, and it's a fantastic move from Tottenham Hotspur.
Well, you play to the whistle, don't you? Maritz was too busy looking at the assistant with a hand in the air there to try and stop Hamano. Wondered if the chance had got away from her, actually, when she went round Roebuck and there were defenders in position. It's that kind of coolness in front of goal that Spurs have had all day and Villa have been lacking.
I agree, and it's that transition. You've brought on Tamberg. She's just come on the pitch, and the ball with the outside of her foot splits the defenders. Hamano's running behind, and like you say, the composure to go around Roebuck, but then to find the gap in that between the defenders into that far post. Clinical finish.
Vic finding Hamano.
The worrying thing for Aston Villa, unfortunately, there's still plenty of time left in this game. We've got at least 16 minutes before the 90.
And it's a month until they play again, 15th of March. Natalia Arroyo might be shifting a little uncomfortably in her technical area, particularly if this gets much worse in the next 15 minutes or so. Great way for Spurs to clear their head after the disappointment of that defeat to Chelsea last week, when actually they were a bit unlucky, weren't they?
I agree. I think they worked hard. Their organisation out of possession is so good from Tottenham.
And they're in again here, and there are loads of white shirts to pick out in the middle. Danger's not quite passed yet. Galpset trying to help it back in. Wimberg did. Villa can't clear their lines. They are helped by the flag of the referee's assistant over on the far side. It's Daniel Sykes who got that call right, just as he did with the Hamano one. Big contrast in the performances at both ends of the pitch for these teams. But you think in the first half we were talking about, is it Hansen or nobody for Villa? Well, Jean-Francois got a goal which was heavily deflected, but Spurs, 5 goals on the road, 5 different goal scorers. That'll thrill the manager. It's
impressive to be able to score from different areas on the pitch. It's exactly what you need, and it's why they're sitting in 5th in this WSL in Martin Ho's first campaign.
Blackstad. Going to go level on points with Arsenal as things stand today. Tottenham, they're miles behind on goal difference, so 15 worse off than the Gunners. A couple behind Manchester United as well. It'll be 3 points ahead of them, but Arsenal's game, if you didn't catch that at half-time at Brighton, has been postponed because of a waterlogged pitch today. Villa trying to get a goal back to at least give them some interest in the closing stages, but Koga is defended really well, making sure that's not a possibility on that occasion.
That's Lucy Parker trying to make something happen for Aston Villa side.
Here goes Blackstad.
And for the first time, I think you can see the shoulders and the body language from this Aston Villa side. They're struggling. It's so hard. That goal from Jean-Francois got them back into the goal, but just for seconds barely, really. A minute later, Spurs score, and it just deflates them at 4-2. Now it's about pride, isn't it? They've got 15 minutes left. What can they do in the last 15 minutes? Because the game's gone. But play for your pride. Play for a performance.
Will she be under any pressure, do you think, Natalia Arroyo? They've churned through managers of late, haven't they, Villa?
Yeah, of course, and it's never easy when you're going through managers. You've got to give them time, but you would argue she has had time. But really, the last 6 games, for me, have been really disappointing, and now they've conceded, let me do my math, 22 goals in 5 games. That brings pressure for me.
He, on the other hand, is making this look very easy.
And you can hear him, Martin Ho, on the sideline. His team are 5-2 up.
Villa might be able to get another one back here, though. It's Ebony Salmon. Good save from Lisa Kopp. Might be the first save she's actually made in the game, that, the Spurs keeper. Here's Vilms. Kendall. Smacked in first time from Vilms, really good ball, and turned in by Hansen for her second of the game. Villa's third, shade over 10 minutes left. They couldn't, could they?
Great goal from Kirsty Hansen. Really good play from this ball from Lucia Kendall. Just splits the Tottenham players, and a wicked ball in from Vilms. It drops nicely, doesn't it, for Hansen? But this ball from Wilms, we've seen it a couple of times, whipped in, drops nicely and hits it on the half volley. You want it to drop to Hansen there, don't you? Puts it into the back of the net, no problem. Like you say, is it game on again?
Well, she's on a hat-trick, Kirsty Hansen. Natalia Arroyo trying to inject some belief into her players. Tell you what, if they get a goal in the next couple of minutes, Spurs might get a bit wobbly. Although, given what we've seen, Spurs are probably going to go up the other end and score straight away.
This will be their objective. Let's keep the ball. Let's try and not concede. You know, we've just scored. What can we do with the ball?
Salmon putting Hunt under some pressure here. She's not giving this up, Ebony Salmon. It's good defending, actually, from Claire Hunt. Vinberg. Great game for us neutrals, this. 8 goals, and I don't think we're finished yet. Manchester United have the lead against London City, so it's really important that Tottenham hold on.
High.
Got to try and maintain this momentum. Kendall not helping that by playing it out. Koga pushing it right-hand side. Spurs going for the kill, or are they going to defend what they've got? Well, here's Hamano. Tamberg looking for a second. This is absolutely incredible. Tottenham have a 6th. Tamberg at the double off the bench. Surely that's the goal that settles it. 8 minutes of the 90 left. And Spurs have done it to Villa again. Just when they think they're back in, Spurs pull them out. Aston Villa 3, Tottenham Hotspur 6.
Again, Hamano's involved. Lovely. Slips the ball down that right-hand side for Tamberg, but it's the width from Vic. Here, you can see driving in field, looks for Hamano. He looks up, finds Tamberg, and that first time shot, that's hard to do. She hits it cleanly, Tamberg. Far corner, Roebuck can do nothing about that. And again, they go a goal, they concede a goal, but they can get one back. What a game.
9th goal of the game. Spurs going to make a double change in the aftermath of
Goal
this.
scorer of Tottenham Hotspur, number 19, I think Tamberg.
Tamberg, like Hansen, on a hat-trick. Well, this is a nice position for those Spurs subs to come on in. More comfortable than it felt a couple of minutes ago. Here's Vinberg. The crossover might break for Gaupset. It's going to come back Vinberg's way. She can have a go here too. And only the deflection took that behind.
She's looked dangerous, Vinberg, since she's came on this left-hand side. Again, Aston Villa just don't clear their lines fully. Drops to Vinberg. Patton has to make herself nice and big. Intercept that shot.
Spurs still waiting to make that double change, but they don't want to take it while they've got this attacking corner and a chance to score a 7th goal. Oh, and they have. This is absolutely unbelievable from Tottenham Hotspur. What a statement they're making here. Julie Blackstad, the latest to join in the fun. Her first WSL goal for a new club. And Natalia Arroyo's got that sinking feeling. 7 on the road for Tottenham.
Simple, well-worked corner. You can see near post Blackstad there. Is able to get away from Kirsty Hansen and Jean-Francois.
Score for Tottenham Hotspur, number 41, Julie Blackstad.
Goes into the back post. It's a nice goal. I think Blackstad's had a good game as well. Lots of these Spurs players have played well, and that's been the difference of the two sides.
There goes Bethany England as these Spurs subs finally happen. She's going to give the armband as she makes her way off. Koga is another one of those coming on.
Double substitution for Tottenham Hotspur, replaced number 9, Beth England, and number 32, Toko Koga. Will be number 5, Mommy Bartrick, and number 20.
Took the armband off England. Maika Amano's also coming on. Olga Aitanen is on as well. Amano gives way for Lena Gunning-Williams. Perennial substitute. All 20 of her appearances in the competition have been off the bench.
And it's a funny one for Martin Ho to score 7 goals so far away from home. You've got to be pleased, but no, Martin Ho is going to be thinking about those 3 conceded goals.
Substitution for Tottenham Hotspur, plays number 23, Maika Harmono, will be number 18, Nena Williams.
Hanged up at Tamberg. Gunning-Williams just off the bench, putting the pressure on Roebuck. Here's Salmon. Decent ball. Oh my goodness me. Villa almost got their 4th. Normally you score 3 goals at home, you think you're going to win the game. Instead, they're going to get a drubbing. And it was all started by your player of the match, Lindsay. Tell us who it is.
Yeah, I think Gaupset, for me, she's been the catalyst of this Spurs side. I think she's played fantastically well in midfield. She's bossed that midfield area, but really driven the attacking mindset of this Spurs side. Got the first goal, got them off to a flyer, and then has continued to be that main player in midfield. And I think she's done exceptionally well today.
Well, Kirsty Hansen scored twice. She's going to finish on the losing team. See if the 4th official's feeling merciful in terms of stoppage time. Sometimes the way, isn't it? You'd think we'd get a lot. Had 6 minutes in the first half. We've had plenty of substitutions. And of all the many things that will please Martin Ho about this game, the fact that he's effected things from his bench will be up there, right? Tandberg's come on and got a couple of goals in quick-fire fashion.
And that's what you want. You want players to come off the bench and be those game changers. And obviously they've always been in front in this game, but Tandberg, the quality she brings to the side off the bench, but also Vinberg's done well. And then you bring in players on like Artonen, who's experienced, and the young players in Gunnar Williams. He'd be pretty pleased with what he's got in his squad.
Villa just desperate for the final whistle now. Gunnar Williams keen to make the most of her minutes. Worth the early start for those Tottenham supporters over on the far side from us?
Well worth it for them. You know, they've seen 7 goals from their side today and some really cracking goals in those 7 as well, and 6 different goal scorers as well. Shows just what depth he's got in this squad. And as we've said through all the game, that attacking mindset that Martin Ho has brought to this Tottenham Hotspur side.
Tandberg's touch off for Artonen. The scalp set, having her shirt tugged. The referee says play on. Kendall, the offender on that occasion. Simonen.
Be a minimum of 5 minutes added time.
5 extra minutes for Villa to suffer here.
Time.
Well, his team absolutely ruthless today, and goals at killer times. Just when Villa thought they were back into it, Spurs slammed the door shut again.
The best way to respond after conceding is to score a goal, and Spurs have done that exceptionally well today. Like I said earlier, he'll be unhappy that they've conceded 3 goals in the fashion that they did, but to respond in the way that they have has been excellent.
Carter. Here's Jean-Francois. Carter all alone, and Simonen favourite and won it and sent it back to Kopp.
And for me, the likes of Carter, she's been a passenger in this game for Villa today, and I thought she would have been subbed off earlier in the game, not really been involved, and can't afford that. The Aston Villa players, they need all players to be involved in the game. There's a lot for Aston Villa to unpick after the game, and they'll obviously look at the defensive issues that they've clearly got. But they've got to look at some positives as well, and scoring 3 goals and creating a number of opportunities, which they have. I think they'll look at that as well.
They've got a long time to stew on this, which could be a good thing or a bad thing, I suppose. Lots of time on the training ground, but a long time before they can go about putting this right. Here's Vic. Still time for it to get worse, of course. Not sure I've ever commentated on a 7-3 before, particularly an away win.
I was just thinking myself, when was the last time I had 10 goals in a match?
We got it in the League Cup quarter-final, didn't we, when Chelsea hammered Liverpool 9-1. But a 7-3 feels like a very rare scoreline. Blackstad. Look at that. Spurs XG 2.66. Villa's not quite 1. Tells you Tottenham have been ruthless. Here's Blackstad. Tamberg looking for a hat-trick in the middle. Almost came Vinberg's way. Here's Gaupset. Gunning Williams on the turn. Why not? Oh, so close. Roebuck will tell you he should have saved that had it been on target. I'm not so sure.
Great intent from the young player Gunning Williams. But again, it's Gaupset just winning those balls in those midfield areas. It's a fantastic turn from Gunning Williams. Hits it on the turn, and it, you know, I think you're right, Roebuck had it covered, but shows her intent.
A minute to go, and then Villa can get down the tunnel and try and forget all about this. An enjoyable trip home for Tottenham. At London City Lionesses in the FA Cup. In their next game, that's Monday the 23rd. Everton next up in the WSL for them. Doesn't get any easier for Villa. They've got City coming here after the international break.
And you're right, Matt, you just want to put it behind you and play your next game, and they've got so long waiting for that game, and then, as you said, it's against Manchester City, who are flying and scoring from all over the pitch.
Yellow card for taking too long over the throw-in there from Hunt. She can't have been time wasting. They're 7-3 up. And we've had 5 minutes of stoppage time. Here's Gunning Williams. She kept that in play, just about, apparently. Cut back for Gaupset, whose shot hit Jean-Francois. Still we play on. Salmon. Decent ball that. Here's Maltby. Surrounded by Tottenham players, absolutely nowhere to go. And that is that. What a statement victory for Martin Ho's Tottenham Hotspur. They've scored 7 goals on the road here, 6 different goal scorers. They have battered Aston Villa, who at times looked as though they were going to get back into this game, but every time they scored, Spurs went straight up the other end and did likewise. A stunning statement victory for Tottenham Hotspur, who have hammered Aston Villa. It is a crushing defeat for the home side. It's a magnificent win for the visitors. Final score at Villa Park. How about this? Aston Villa 3, Tottenham Hotspur 7. Well, good luck with this, Lindsay, but try and sum that up for me.
But I think we saw it from the start of the game. Aston Villa's frailties at the back has been the problem. I think obviously Tottenham Hotspur have looked clinical in front of goal. But like you say, every time Villa got back into the game or got a goal to give them some hope, Spurs were able to hit them back with a goal at the other end. I think it was open at times, but Tottenham Hotspur, when they're on the attack in the transition, they looked unbelievable. And they looked like they were going to score every time they went forward. For me, Aston Villa have got lots of work to do with this time off at the back. They need to work on their defensive shape. You know, the amount of goals they're conceding is just not good enough in this league. They need to look at that. But Spurs, for me, are flying. I'll be really happy with the 7 goals today.
Won't he just? No wonder he's smiling and laughing at the moment. His team continuing to put pressure on the teams above them in the race for the Champions League. What a magnificent first season it has been for Martin Ho as a number 1 in the WSL. He'll follow his players over to where the away supporters are based. They had to get up very early to get here for this noon kickoff. but it's been worth the bleary eyes first thing this morning. They'll go over. Once they've had their huddle, Villa's will be somewhat more sombre, you would think. A lot of introspection and reflection going on for the home side over the next month. But for Spurs, well, where can this season take them? All they can do is keep winning games. A little slump before coming into this one. Well, it's quite a way to react to 2 defeats in 3 by scoring 7 away from home. First time they've beaten Villa away for a couple of years as well. So Martin O'There's just saying, can we do this every week, please? 7 goals.
Yeah, why not? Obviously, he's not going to be happy with conceding 3, but when you score 7, kind of forget about that a little bit. But he'd be really impressed with his January signings as well. He knows all about them. He used to manage them over in Sweden with Häcken. But I think Gausbeck, for me, in that midfield, she's such a strong ball carrier in those midfield areas and links with the forwards really well. Obviously got a goal, but I think today, for me, she's been their best player, hence the player of the match. But other players as well, like Olivia Holt, who went off in that second half, I think she did really well. Hamano come into the game, caused some problems for Aston Villa. And then when Tangberg come on, you've got another goal scorer. So I think, yeah, he's going to be really pleased with the players today.
There are those Spurs supporters who will remember this day for an awful long time. Where were you when we came to Villa Park and scored 7 goals? What does the future hold for Natalia Arroyo? At times, she's shown real promise as Aston Villa coach, but conceding 7 goals on your own patch is never a good look. And she will have questions to answer, I'm sure. 9 wins from 27 WSL games is her record now. And they've now conceded 3 or more in 7 different WSL games this season, and it was a lot more than 3 today. Martin Ho chatting with Rachel Daly and Ellie Roebuck. No doubt that Villa are missing Rachel Daly, but there are plenty more problems than that for them to solve.
I agree, and I think it goes back to conceding those amounts of goals. I think they've conceded, just looking at the table, 36 goals now this season. The most in the league. The most in the league. I think you've got to look at that. And she looks disconsolate, doesn't she? Natalia Arroyo.
Well, let's go and get some reaction pitch side, shall we? We can hear from the player of the match, Senior Gobset.
Senior, congratulations, yet another player of the match award. You slotted in seamlessly here. How are you feeling?
Thank you. Feels really good and nice to bounce back with a win today.
How pleasing was it that you showed such a ruthless edge today? At one point, you'd scored with pretty much every shot on target.
Yeah, it's really nice, and it's something we've been speaking about this week, that we need to score more goals, and yeah, we scored 7 today, so that's amazing.
And one of those goals was your first for the club as well. Talk me through that. How did that feel?
It's really nice, and yeah, I've been waiting for that, so really happy to score my first goal.
Finally, when the WSL comes back, 6 games left, opportunities to take points of the teams above you. You're really in the hunt for Europe, aren't you?
Yeah, we want to win as many games as possible, and then it's the teams that's over us on the table as well. So we will just take one game at a time and yeah, try to win everyone.
Congratulations, Senior.
Thank you.
First WSL goal for her today. Let's have a look what has happened elsewhere. Well, Manchester City hit Leicester for 6 on Friday night. We probably thought that was going to be the highest scoring game of the weekend. Not a bit of it. We've got that on here. Now, the only thing that will slightly disappoint Martin when he gets back into the dressing room will be to see the other teams in Champions League contention have also won today. Chelsea beaten Liverpool by 2-0, And Manchester United coming from behind to beat London City Lionesses 2-1. Big win for Everton too. Against West Ham, 1-0 it finished at Goodison Park, and the game between Brighton and Arsenal was postponed because of a waterlogged pitch. So all that means this for the WSL table. Spurs stay in 5th, but they're level on points with Arsenal, albeit Arsenal have 2 games in hand and a superior goal difference. But all Spurs can do is keep winning their games and see where it takes them. Villa sinking down to 9th place in the table. Surely they've got too big of a buffer to be concerned about that relegation playoff, but it's been a very disappointing season for them so far. Let's have a look at how the game unfolded before we say goodbye then. Normally we call these highlights, Lindsay. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be goals that we'll be seeing, given that there were 10 of them. And it was your player of the match who got the fun started.
Yeah, she was the catalyst. Really drives well in that midfield area, and it's her first touch, sets her up so nicely for a left-footed finish for that first goal, and that set the tone for her in this game.
But Villa were quickly level 6 minutes after Gaupset had made it 1-0. A very Kirsty Hansen goal made it 1-1.
I love this, the way Kirsty Hansen drives across Hunt makes it difficult for her, finishes it well. But again, Olivia Holt, I think another great player in that first half, drives in those midfield areas, allows Beth England a little bit of time and space, and it's unlucky for Villa, deflected shot, but again, creating those opportunities.
Spurs absolutely ruthless in the first half. Good bit of skill that from Holt, and able to beat Roebuck at her near post. But the goals kept on coming. This is when we thought Villa might have been back in it.
Yeah, we thought this was the crucial goal. It was all Jean-Francois, does it all herself, wins the ball in midfield, has the audacity to go herself.
But a minute later, Spurs said, don't get too excited. Double substitution, both involved Wimberg, and then smacked in by Tamberg.
First time finish, finishes it exceptionally well. And then this ball from Gaupset in the midfield, splits the players. Hamano goes round Roebuck, and what a calm, composed finish into that far corner of the net.
And if you thought the goal scoring was done there, you were wrong. Hansen with her second of the game. Nice finish that.
Really good finish, in the right place at the right time, but it's Wilm's cross who did it for me. Hansen smashes it in the back of the net.
Likewise, Tamberg, second of the game for her.
Another first-time finish, replicates her first goal.
And then last of all, Julie Blackstad, nice little flicked header. What a win for Tottenham Hotspur. Sensational on the road today. A day that they'll remember for an awful long time, as will Aston Villa, but for different reasons. Many thanks for your company today from Lindsay and from myself. An incredible scoreline. It finished at Villa Park. Aston Villa 3, Tottenham Hotspur 7.